Hey everyone, my name is Logan, and I'm currently a third-year PhD student at the Wyant College of Optical Sciences. I also completed my bachelor's in optics at this college, and this is my second year serving as the primary Department of Defense Graduate Consultant. This last year, I was awarded the National Outstanding Graduate Research Scholar, and I was awarded the DoD SMART Fellowship. I've been working with the Department of Defense for about 5 years now. And I'm actually filming this video just, at my home, just down the street from my AFRL base. And the purpose of this video is I want to help you, whoever is watching this, write the best fellowship essay possible and structure your application strategically to help you secure funding in this seemingly complicated federal framework. In this video, I want to walk you through the DoD SMART Scholarship, or the Science, Mathematics, and Research for Transformation. I'm going to walk you through what this fellowship is, how to apply, what to watch out for, and the mistakes that I think you can avoid if you just know the rules early and have a little bit of tips and tricks. I have a little bit of experience with the DoD SMART Scholarship specifically, so I will offer my insights as well. What is SMART? SMART stands for Science, Mathematics, and Research for Transformation. It is a Department of Defense Scholarship for Service program. That last phrase is extremely important. Scholarship for Service. This is not just free graduate school funding. SMART pays for your education, provides a stipend, connects you with a DoD sponsoring facility, essentially a base or a research lab, and they give you summer internships, which you are also paid for. But in exchange, you commit to working as a civilian employee for the Department of Defense once you graduate. So the first question is not, do I want funding? Everybody wants funding. The real question is, do I want my graduate research and my early career connected to a DoD laboratory and facility? If the answer is yes, SMART can be incredible. It is the highest paid fellowship. It guarantees your employment. There's a lot of other benefits I'll go into. But if the answer is no, or if you want complete freedom after you graduate, SMART may not be the right fit for you. Researching the SMART program. The first thing I would do is go to the official SMART Scholarship website. Start with the eligibility page, the application requirements, the scholar handbook, sponsoring facilities page, and application resources. For graduate students, the big eligibility items are usually these 5 things. 1, you need to be pursuing an approved STEM degree. For optical science students, optical science engineering will fall under physics. That's what you'll select. So that's done. Number 2, you need to have a strong GPA. SMART is highly competitive. The year that I applied, there was a 9% acceptance rate, which is sort of similar to a lot of fellowship applications. But of that 9%, only 21% of the awards were PhD awards. So a lot of the awards go to bachelor students. So you're not only competing with graduate, but also undergrad. Number 3, be eligible to obtain and maintain a security clearance. This means you have to be a U.S. citizen. If you're not a U.S. citizen, DoD SMART is not a fellowship application that you can apply to, unfortunately. Number 4, be able to participate in DoD internships if required, meaning this is something that your advisor understands well ahead of time. This means that you will not be available for the summer to be in their research lab. However, from my experience, I just continue to work on my research out here during the internship. That's actually currently where I'm at just down the street from my AFRL base for the internship. But during this, I have access to state-of-the-art equipment and facilities. So, for us, it's a great benefit. I continue to do research in the lab, but now I have access to telescopes because that's what my research area is in. And number 5, be willing to accept post-graduation DoD employment. The service commitment is the biggest thing to understand. In general, SMART follows a 1-to-1 model. You owe about 1 year of civilian employment for every 1 year that SMART funds or sponsors your PhD. So if SMART funds 3 years of your PhD, think of that as a 3-year post-graduation commitment. This is not necessarily bad. For some people, that is the best part about the program. You graduate with a job, a technical network, a DoD mentor, a direct path into a research career. And for me, I love this job. So this was the obvious choice. One of the main reasons I applied for SMART is because I wanted to be able to get a job out here in Hawaii. It's pretty competitive. There's not a lot of openings, and SMART opened up that pathway for me to have a job at the facility. But you need to be honest with yourself. Do you want to work at a DoD lab? Are you comfortable with the location of the sponsoring facility? Are you comfortable doing applied research? Are you comfortable with security clearance requirements? Are you okay with your summers being connected to the Department of Defense or the SMART program? If those answers are yes, then SMART can be one of the best graduate funding opportunities available. All right, the thing that everybody cares about, funding. How much does the SMART award pay? I'm going to be transparent with you. I receive a little less than $50,000 each year, and that is direct deposited into my bank account in installments of $3,800 about every month. I also receive an extra $3,500 for medical and miscellaneous expenses. For the internships, since my sponsoring facility was over 2,000 miles away, I receive an extra $15,000 each summer to cover moving expenses. So this comes out to about roughly $75,000 per year. That's an incredible salary for a PhD student. On top of this, SMART also guarantees employment. So you'd have to talk with your sponsoring facility about what your salary might look like when you exit. It's a conversation, honestly, that you should have. So now that if we've determined SMART is a good fit for you, let's get into structuring a strong application. The SMART application itself is different from ND-SEG. ND-SEG is mainly a fellowship application. SMART is both a fellowship application and a job matching process. This means that your application should not only say, I am a strong researcher, it should say, I am a strong researcher who could realistically become a valuable civilian scientist or engineer at a DoD facility. Having that mindset will change how you write the essay. SMART just has one essay. So you can think of it as a personal statement combined with a technical proposal. I would use a simple structure. Number 1, what technical field are you pursuing? Number 2, what research problems are you motivated by? Number 3, what have you already done that proves preparation? Number 4, why does your work matter to national defense? Number 5, why do you want a DoD research career? The last part really matters. Do not write the whole essay like it's just a way to pay tuition. SMART is looking for people who are genuinely interested in DoD science and engineering and entering the workforce to do so. For the research section of this essay, be specific. A weak version would be, my research uses machine learning to improve sensor performance. A stronger version would be, my research develops machine learning methods for improving sensor performance under low signal, noisy, or degraded conditions. This has relevance to defense applications where sensing systems must operate in a realistic environment with limited data, atmospheric effects, motion, clutter, or uncertainty. Notice the difference. The second version tells the reviewer what you do, what technical challenge exists, and why the DoD might care. A useful template is, my research focuses on blank, your technical area, for a specific problem. The current limitation is what gap. My approach is, state your method. This matters to the DoD because insert capability or mission relevance. It's good to go online, search for a few, make it connected. But please know, you do not need to sound like a military strategist. You just need to sound like a scientist or engineer who understands why the problem matters. I'll also provide my essay for you to see an example. You will see that in my essay, I connect my research to SSA, which is Space Situational Awareness. I also connect it to SDA, which is Space Domain Awareness. And even more specifically, I connect this to the CSO problem, or the Closely Spaced Object problem. This problem references the Space Force is looking at telescopes. You have maybe 2 objects, but they look like one because the atmosphere blurs it. So you need methods to separate the 2. So that's a specific problem that I identified. Sponsoring facilities. A major part of SMART is sponsoring facilities. This is where a lot of applicants underthink the application. You are not just applying to a generic scholarship pool. You must be matched to a specific DoD research lab or facility. That facility can shape your internships, your mentorships, and your job after your PhD. My entire application, essay, and short responses were centered around AFRL in Maui. I even mentioned my ability to blend with the geographically isolated lifestyle out here on the island because these are things that the reviewers actually care about. They care about, is this person a good match with our facility? On the SMART homepage, you can browse this interactive global map to find sponsoring facilities. I found this super helpful. I would recommend then going to research individual labs that are in locations you would be okay living. See if they do work in optical sciences or even better, your field. For example, don't just look for optics. Search for DoD groups working on imaging, adaptive optics, remote sensing, directed energy, laser propagation, photonics, infrared systems, whatever your specific area is. When you make facility preferences, be strategic. Pick places where your skills are actually useful. A specific site might not have a need for an optical scientist. So go to that portal and research the sites individually to see if they do work in your field. Also, pick sites that you would be okay living in a region geographically. You have to think ahead. I'm going to be working here post-graduation. A good facility preference is not just a famous lab. It is a technical match plus a career choice. One word of advice that I like to give. I'd be very careful with the why DoD question. A lot of people here I've seen, they put in a lot of patriotic statements. I would avoid generic patriotism only. Now, it's okay to care about national service, but just make sure that you're focusing on making your application technical. On the note about location, research the city, the state, the area like around your facility, as well as the facility yourself. The location really matters. You'll be spending a decent amount of time there. Security clearance also matters. If your background has anything complicated, like many foreign contracts, or you're going to China all the time, just read the rules, be honest in the process. I can't offer any advice regarding going into your security clearance, but I will say being honest is always the best choice. Timelines matter. Your funding period, graduation date, internship, and employment obligation are all connected. When you apply, do not just, carelessly list your graduation date, because this date that you list, it affects how your award. You can't extend your award. There are options for that, but the funding will cut off for whatever you put your date at. Now, apart from the main essay, which is the personal statement or research proposal that we talked about, there are also a bunch of short responses, which are called the application essays, that you must complete in the fellowship application portal. Start these early. These essays took me a long time. They are shorter, but there can be a lot of short responses if you have a lot of leadership and volunteer experience. I did a lot of that in undergraduate, so it took me a while. I spent about an hour each night writing these responses for about 3 to 4 weeks continuously. For these essays, my biggest advice is to just be concrete. For the leadership and teamwork, keep it grounded. SMART is not only looking for the most inspirational story, they want to see someone who can operate inside technical teams. Examples like mentoring junior students, coordinating experiments, writing documentation, managing hardware, presenting to different disciplines, or working across different disciplines can be very strong. It has more of an impact than you think. References. References are actually the largest factor that the reviewers use in evaluating your application. So for references, choose people who could speak to your technical ability, your reliability, your independence, and your fit for applied research. A famous professor who barely knows you is usually weaker than a mentor who can say, this person solves hard problems. They communicate clearly. They follow through. They are a dependable person. They take initiative. They're a friendly person. Now, we're almost done. On to some tips and tricks. If you can, talk to current or former SMART Scholars. Ask them what their facility experience was like, how the internship worked, how much flexibility they had, what they wish they knew before they accepted. I'm happy to answer any questions you have. My personal email address, I'm going to put on the screen here. It's loganpulowski15@gmail.com. You can reach out to me there since I won't have access to my Arizona email after graduating. Now, if you're watching this before 2028, then I'm still at the college as a PhD student, and you can just use my Arizona email that is here, loganpulowski@arizona.edu. I would also really recommend asking around for connections at a sponsoring facility, especially if you have a top pick. A lot of people at the college probably have connections. Reach out to them. So if you are reaching out to try to generate a connection, that shows initiative that many never take. That itself is a good influencer. Another tip, since you are an optical science student, I would highly recommend selecting your major as a critical mission area. Select directed energy, SSA, or space situational awareness. They may have a different term for space, and quantum computing. Those were on the application when I applied. So although I don't work directly in directed energy, no pun intended, or quantum computing, my degree of optical sciences is definitely connected to that, mission critical category. So selecting these can help push your application to the top. In summary, my recommended workflow is number 1, confirm your eligibility. Number 2, read the official SMART website and Scholar Handbook. Seriously, read this first. Number 3, identify your SMART STEM discipline. It's likely physics. Number 4, research the sponsoring facilities before writing. Number 5, define your technical match. What you do, why it matters, and where it fits. Number 6, draft your personal statement around research preparation, DoD relevance, and career fit. Number 7, make sure that your advisor understands the internship and service commitment implications. Number 8, ask your references early as possible. And number 9, review every detail of the service agreement before you accept the award. You're kind of signing your life away for the next 7 years. So do that. So the main message is SMART is not just a scholarship. It is a career pathway. If you want graduate funding, but also a career with the Department of Defense, SMART can be an amazing opportunity. It has been for me. So that's the overview that I wish every SMART applicant had before they apply. Please feel free to reach out to me with any questions. Good luck.